Good morning. Here we go. HMS Rodney Day. And I think I've got my Bismarck shirt on this time, Jeff. Okay, now, I was noticing that the bird feeder is definitely being ignored. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put in what it looked like yesterday and then flash to what it is right now. And you'll see it's just not going down. Remember about 2 weeks ago it was going down and I had to fill it up about every other day? Yeah. Well, it's those birds, they've gone south. And as I said before, I don't blame them. Now, I set my little camera out on the table there so that I would be reminded to say something. And that is, I got it wasn't a comment. Somebody sent me a message in Messenger, like Facebook Messenger. Well, I don't use that. And unfortunately, that person sent me the message about, I'm guessing maybe 2 weeks ago. It was back the end of October anyway. And they were wondering, he said something to the effect of he was going to start a channel making models, and he was wondering, like what editing software do I use, and what camera do I use, and stuff like that. And I didn't get back to him. I am sorry. I just didn't see your message if you're watching right now. But what I want to say is, don't send me messages in Messenger. I don't see them. If you want to ask me a question, the best place is in the comments, because I see the comments at least once every day. And even the model ship email, like the model ship at hotmail.com, I don't always see that right away either, but a lot more than I'm going to see it if you send me a message in Messenger, which I realize is very common. A lot of people use it. I just don't. I just don't. Maybe I should start. No, I'm not going to start. I'm too old to change. Okay, I did come back to the model table yesterday afternoon. I did work a little bit on this. I got another row of bracing on. This is going slower than I thought it would. Getting it all lined up before you glue it down, it's not that easy, and I'm a little concerned about how are we going to be able to get this part here to mesh up on all four of them at the same time. I'll probably be able to do it. I mean, if other people did it, I should be able to too. Okay. Let me tell you. I'll tell you something interesting about my. Remember, I talked about two or 3 days ago. I was mentioning that my power supply had crapped out. And I think what I'll do is I'll just do a separate segment in that so that I can get a little bit more organized with my thoughts. In the meantime, there's no use me turning the cup and saying let's roll back, because there is no rollback today. No, we're just going to continue on here. Now, I don't know if you can read the clock off in the background there or not, but I got myself all tied up and busy here this morning doing other things instead of coming back and doing what I planned on doing. A moment ago, I sat down and I was going to move this and get it more on the center of my rotating block, and it's stuck itself to the green masking tape here. And I haven't tried to take this off, but it could be that when we do, we're going to have green masking tape stuck on the plastic on the other side. Now, I don't want to be breaking anything loose here. We'll see what happens. I should have put it on waxed paper, or maybe even what I could have done is maybe put candle wax on here. That would have done it too, but then it would have made a mess on my... Okay, what do we got going on here? Oh, that's all right. Yeah. Let me get it here so I can see it myself. Yeah, that's okay. All right, let's fasten it down now, and just in case I want to put this on the rotating block and take a nice close look afterwards. We'll see what happens. Okay. Now, I just don't want this to move. I don't think that these things here are going to be coming out to the very end. So if I just put this on the very end like this, that'll just help hold it down. And I put a little piece across here. That should do it. Yeah, just so that when I'm working at it with the tweezers, it's not sliding around on the block. Okay, well, very gently. All I want to do is just hold it down. Yeah, that'll work. Now the cross member that I'm holding onto right now, don't know if you can see it, but there's a little hole that I'm supposed to be plugging a positioning pin into right there. And obviously I've thought it was flashing, and when I was cleaning this piece up, I nipped it off. So, you know, it's going to make it a little harder now to get this just right. The pin that is on the other end to your extreme left, it's still there. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put the macro lens on, move the camera back. Now I know that sounds funny. You know, why would you move the camera back? Don't you want to move it in? Well, right now where the lens is a 30 millimeter lens, and this is as close as it will focus. Now the macro lens is 105 millimeter. It's actually a small telephoto, so I'll be able to move it back a little bit more out of my way, and at the same time it moves the field of view closer. Now I had been thinking of using a couple of holder dongers and see if I could sort of you know, get this in place before I glued it, and I tried a few times and I realized it wasn't going to work. So this time what I'm going to try to do is get that peg in the right place and at least get this one end glued down. Oh, don't fall over now, don't fall over. I'm going to have to get a different grab on it here. Let's try it like that, and I can sort of force it in. Alright, it's not quite straight here though. It's okay, now it's pretty straight. And I don't know if I dare try to push that down or not. I'll probably just knock it over if I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait a few minutes and let this extra thin evaporate and let the plastic stiffen up. And then we'll work at this end down here. Now I'm sure you're all familiar with the old common saying that's well known, at least around here. If it seems too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. Well, this is sort of the situation it was when I was dealing with the people at CyberPower. Yeah, it was almost too good to be true. They said they were going to send me a label that I could, you know, put on my parcel and send it into a repair place or whatever. And I thought, okay, that's nice. And then there was a little bit more correspondence back and forth, and they were sort of dripping with being nice. And I'm thinking, this is just too good to be true. Is this a real well-orchestrated thing going on here that's going to, you know, give me the big letdown at the end? Like, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't realize that it had broken down on Tuesday. We don't repair stuff that breaks down on Tuesday. But no, I actually did get the label, and I did print it out, and I did put it on the box. And Purelator came by this morning and picked it up. Wow, and as near as I can tell, it's not going to cost me anything. Now, it'll be interesting to see what they send me in return. Are they going to fix my old one, or are they going to send me a refurbished one, or just what's going to happen here? Well, whatever happens, I'll let you know. Okay, I'd like to tell you that everything just went fine down here, but it didn't. What happened was it slowly slumped its way over, and by the time I got through messing around with it, I had to completely redo the whole thing, which I did, and then I used some extra thin quick setting here, and I think this is fairly strong now. It's a little bit soft, but it should be strong enough that we should be able to push this down, and it's not going to lift up at the other end. And I'm hoping now that I can use the holder downer. Maybe my holder downer isn't exactly the right shape. It should be maybe flat on the bottom, because it's not going to want to cooperate here, is it? No. Okay, I'm going to have to sand the end of the holder downer at a bit of a flat angle, so I don't have. I think you can see where what my problem is here. Okay, bear with me, please. Okay. Now I don't know if I can show you this or not. I'll try. But what I did was I put a bit of a bevel on the stick here, so that when we put it down flat, so I just have to readjust here. Okay, this should come back down nice and flat on there, and it should want to stay in place better than it did before. Yeah, like right there. That, I believe, is just about exactly where we want it. All right. Put some extra thin on there. I'm gonna come in from right here. And maybe we can get the other one as well. I didn't want to glue the stick, but I did. Okay, let's just leave that for a moment or two. Probably about, I'm going to leave it for about 10 minutes. Okay, a little bit of time has passed here, maybe about 10-15 minutes. And the mailman has come. Sorry, Jim. And let's see if I can just back this holder downer up here and just get the edge of it, just this corner just pushing down. That way it's not going to block your vision. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. All right. Now, our extra thin, not the quick setting. I want it to meld a little bit. And as I mentioned, I think the extra thin melds better than the quick setting does. We'll give that a few minutes and we'll move over to the next one. This is going to take a long time at this rate. Okay, I think we're safe to try and move it down a bit now. And instead of putting it on this one right here, I'm going to maybe put it halfway between the two and see if I can do two at the same time. However, now that this is out of the way and I can see down in here a little bit, I can see that this whole thing is been placed about 1 millimeter too close to you. Now the only good news about that is that I'm pretty sure I can get the mirror image piece like of this one right here to match up with it. And this is the top that's going to be seen. The other side is the underside, and nobody's probably going to notice. But yeah, I should have watched for that and I didn't. Okay, let's see if we can just carefully move our holder downer now. And we're going to try and put it right in there. All right, now is that... Ooh! I just wanted to make sure it's down. Okay, let me check the monitor. Well, it's, yeah, you can sort of see it. Okay, we'll come in here with our... Problem is I can't get the extra thin applicator in there. No, it's covering it up. Maybe I should swing this and come this way a little bit. Okay. Now don't go poking down at it. Okay. Another 10 minutes. Okay. Now, I do believe we're probably still safe to put this last one on. But before we put this one on, we have some very small pieces that have to be placed on the inside that may not be able to be placed afterwards. I'm not sure. And also we have to get a piece of photo etch that I believe acts as a sort of like maybe a cable or something like that. And we have these little tiny ones right here is what I was thinking of earlier that yeah, I don't know if we could get those in place afterwards if we had this all together. In other words, if we had this piece on top of everything. But yeah, I'm going to, I think I'm going to wind it up here today. Just let me recompose a bit. Okay. You know what you've often heard me say on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? Well, my neighbor still wants to visit with me via video chat or video call. And the only difference is instead of doing it at 3:30, he wants to do it at 4 o'clock because 4 o'clock fits in better with his Mexican routine. Yeah, so we're still going to be doing our Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing, but probably not as long. I feel kind of honored that he still wants to visit with me. Anyway, I'm going to call today's episode quits. I'm not going to say I might work at this tonight because usually when I say that I don't. So anyway, we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. All being well, we will see you tomorrow.